Hello, lovelies. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Healing Techniques for the Soul. It is Sultry Sunday, and today we're going to be talking about traumatic births and how that affects mom and both baby. And we're going to get into some ways that we can start to heal and move forward from these experiences, ways that we can start to reclaim our power from this. Let's get into it. I have down a bunch of notes. I'm just going to kind of run through my notes real quick before we get into today's exercise. And then I have a little bit of a writing exercise and some homework for you guys that are down to participate and are actually adamant about healing. Traumatic birthing experiences can lead to PTSD, anxiety, difficulties bonding with the baby. For baby, it can be traumatic because births can increase the risk of developmental delays, mental health issues, and even potential epigenetic changes. If you're like me, you probably don't know what epigenetic changes are. So epigenetic changes, by the dictionary definition, say relating to changes, especially heritable changes in the characteristics of a cellular organism that result from altered gene expression or other effects not involving changes to the DNA. This is not like mutation where this completely alters your DNA sequence. What this basically does, it changes or modifies how cells respond to their environment. Epigenetic changes have the ability to kind of like modify what it is that we inherit and how we're able to utilize or access our DNA. Epigenetic changes play a role in normal development, cell differentiation. Epigenetic changes have been linked to a wide range of diseases, including cancer, neurodevelopment disorders, and cardiovascular disease. Let's get into the impacts that this specifically has on mom and that it specifically has on baby. The impact on mom, it can create mental health issues, PTSD, anxiety disorders, intrusive thoughts, and avoidance of reminders, and changes in arousal and reactivity. Bonding difficulties, long-term health effects, which include chronic pain, pelvic organ prolapse, and nerve damage, strain relationships with partners, and potentially affect future reproduction decisions. The impact that this has on baby would be developmental delays, physical, cognitive, social, behavioral, and emotional, mental health issues, including anxiety and depression later on in life, potential epigenetic changes. Some studies suggest trauma can affect a baby's DNA, potentially influencing long-term health and development. Impact on future generations. So this can also impact more than just the child and mom. This can actually affect grandbabies and those that come after. What are some ways that we can start to heal this? Healing starts when you address emotional, physical, and mental aspects of recovery. So being honest with yourself, what is it that you need in order to be able to heal and move forward in your journey without this having a negative impact on you? Some things that you can do is seek professional help, practice mindfulness and self-care techniques, build a support system, therapy, medication, meditation, breath work, journaling, yoga, exercise, and diet, as well as rest, are also very important when it comes to healing the body, the mind, and the soul. Talk to others, join a support group, practical support, allowing people to come in and help you with your everyday mundane tasks, taking care of the kids, helping around the house, different things like that. Accept emotional support, self-compassion, reclaim your story, learn coping skills, and you should seek professional help if you are experiencing sadness, fear, or anxiety that persist or worsen over time, okay? So if you're having thoughts of self-harm, or if you are experiencing physical symptoms such as fatigue, headaches, digestive issues, I would talk to a medical provider, practitioner. And some yoga poses that you can do to assist with releasing stored trauma, promote relaxation, encourage emotional release, and support nervous system regulation. Child's pose, we got pigeon's pose, bound angle pose, also known as butterfly pose, seated spinal twist, legs up wall pose, corpse pose, and controlled shaking, as well as pranayama breath work and diaphragmatic breathing. That was a fucking hard word to say. And as always, listen to your body. Now we're going to get into our physical exercises. So we're going to do a few yoga poses as well as some breathing techniques. I'm going to walk you through pranayama breath work, and it's fairly easy. As always, make sure you talk to your medical provider if you have health issues. Basically, what you're going to do, we're going to take a couple deep breaths. And then you're going to take your hand, your right or your left hand, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're going to take your thumb and your pointer finger. And when you hit the top of your second breath, you're going to close one nostril. So I'm going to show you with the right side first. I'm going to use my thumb. When you hit the top of your breath, you're going to breathe out through the left side of your nostril. Then you're going to breathe back in. At the top of your breath, you're going to switch fingers. And then you're going to blow out the right side of your nostril. Back up, close, switch, out. Okay? Pretty easy, right? So what this does is it helps balance the left and the right side of your brain, and it can help you feel a lot more balanced and in control of your fears, your anxieties, and different things like that, right? Just take a couple deep breaths. On the second one, we're going to hold it at the top. We're going to put our fingers up, and we're going to close. I'm going to close the right side first. Okay, so if you want to do it exactly how I'm doing it, feel free to. So we're going to start with a deep breath in and out. And on the second one, when we get to the top of our breath, we're going to close our right nostril. And you're going to breathe out through the left nostril. Back in through the left nostril. Hold it. Switch. Out through the right nostril. In through the right nostril. Hold it, switch, out through the left nostril, in through the left nostril, hold it, switch, out through the right nostril. Now that we did that breath work and we are nice and centered, let's jump in with our yoga poses that we're going to do. I'm only going to walk you through 4 of them. The pigeon pose might be a little bit more advanced, but I'll walk you through a beginner way to do this so that way you don't hurt yourself. And like I said before, listen to your body. Do not push yourself too hard. But these poses are meant to help open the hips, induce relaxation. Okay, so we're going to get on our knees and we're going to just slowly kind of walk our hands down here. And we're going to just put our head down. You should feel the stretch in your back, okay? Do some deep breaths. Next thing we're going to do is the pigeon pose, and this is what I was just talking about. So for those of you that are not as flexible and it hurts to put your leg up here, you can quite literally sit like this, okay? So that way you're not putting too much pressure on your legs and you're still getting that good stretch right here, you know? And if this is uncomfortable, you can even go right here, you know? Get off of me, you goofball. You can even go right here. This is something that, you know, you're still going to get that stretch right here, but it's not going to strain your muscles too much to the point where you end up hurting yourself, right? And for those of you that this is a little bit more comfortable, you can put your leg like this in the front of you and put your other leg straight behind you, and you're going to put your pressure on your hands and on your legs, so that way it's not too much on your hands, it's not too much on your legs. You got a good balance going on. And you're just going to breathe. Just hold it for as long as it feels good. What this does is it opens the hips as well, so this is going to allow you to release that tension in your hips that you could be carrying. That's where we store our trauma at. And for those of you that have been through the, you know, traumatic births, you're the mother that has, this can help start to ease some of that tension that you have in your pelvic area. So now you're going to switch sides, and you're going to do the same exact thing. Just going to get up on your leg. If that's what you're doing and you're comfortable. Otherwise, you're going to sit how you just were, but you're going to switch legs. So that way you can get that good stretch on the other side. I wonder why they call this a pigeon pose, because I don't think I've ever seen a pigeon sit like this, but okay. And so the next one that we're going to do is the butterfly pose. Some of you guys probably already know this one, but you're going to just sit like this with your feet touching each other, and you're going to have your legs as far apart, almost touching the ground as you can. If you can't quite get them this far, that is okay. But the more down you get and the more you lean forward, the more you're going to feel that stretch in this area. And that's where you want to feel it at, okay? So you can bounce with it. You can flutter your legs, like a butterfly does. Or you can just lean into it. You can rock if you feel like it. Whatever feels good to you. Just get that good stretch in. This is another hip opening yoga pose, helping us release that emotional and stored trauma. And any tension that you could be carrying in this area of your body as well. So for our last pose, we're going to do the corpse pose, and this is quite literally just laying down flat, okay? So this is a good one for relaxation, and I love doing this at the end of my yoga sessions just because it's a good way to just relax and kind of reflect on your session that you just had and to kind of just take it all in. So I'm just going to lay flat. My arms on the side of me. And I'm just going to breathe. At this point in the yoga session, you can also just take a moment to just show yourself some gratitude and sit with any feelings or energy that might be coming up, any thoughts that might be coming up, and just observe them. So that is the end of our little mini yoga session that we're going to do together today. And before I let you guys go, we're going to talk about the little writing portion of this. So for the writing portion, what I want you guys to do is to grab a piece of paper, a notebook, a pen, and I want you guys to write down any feelings that might have came up during your session and any feelings that might come up when you think about your birth experience, okay? And what you're going to do after you're done writing all that, you're just going to write, I release and I surrender these feelings and emotions. And if you want, you can also go and burn this paper. And just imagine when you burn it that all of that is being transmuted and given to the universe so they can help you heal and move forward from this. And your homework that I'm giving you guys is to try to practice that pranayama breath work for at least 5 minutes a day. Whether that's first thing in the morning, right before you go to bed, do that pranayama breath work. It is going to be so good for you guys. I think you'll really start to see the benefits, even just like a week after doing this. But I always say give it a month to really start to reap benefits from anything that you're doing, right? Give it a month. Go ham. Give it your all, okay? If you want to go more than 5 minutes, awesome. If there's some days where you can't go the full 5 minutes, give yourself some grace. At least you showed up and did it for even 2 minutes, right? This whole healing experience don't come with instructions. This is just something that you kind of got to trust yourself on, you know? And there's lots of tips and tools out here, and you just got to find what works for you. So hopefully these tips and tools and giving this information will help somebody that showed up today. And I just want to thank you guys for showing up and for participating. I appreciate you for showing love on my page. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button so you don't miss when I upload. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. Monday's episode is going to be about how to listen and trust your intuition. So don't forget to check that out. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Take care. Bye.